Okay everyone, welcome to this pre-release tournament. I've had to cut the music because obviously we're all talking as we open up our pre-release kits. I'm sitting currently opposite to my brother who's taking part in the tournament as well. So a bit of a different format. I'm going to go through all the things that you need to know about entering a pre-release tournament, all the things that are different and everything else. But we're going to start off with looking at the packs. Obviously that's your promo card that you get right there. I've got Kangaskhan. I'm just showing that to my brother because that's the third one of them I've pulled. Can't believe how unlucky I am. But we'll go on to the packs anyway, so that'll be the first thing we'll open up, and we'll talk a bit more about the tournament settings as we go through. So as I say, as you say, when you buy these pre-release kits, you get 4 packs inside. You get a piece of paper telling you some information on how to play, the difference in the rules, and obviously you get your pre-release pack kit, which has got your promo and other useful trainers in it. So we've got with a Parasect, Nice Stadium, Cape of Toughness, Starly, Aron, Chupachu, Rowlet, which has got a good ability, Jigglypuff, Tidiosa Reverse, and a Goluk, because we keep finding them in these packs. But moving on to the next pack now anyway. As I say, I'm sorry for my videos being loaded later recently. I've had a few problems in the family, some bereavements, but I'm back now, and hopefully we'll be back with a couple of videos a week. But here we are. So we start with the Dark Energy this time, and never pronounced that name, Fletchland, Rare Fossil, which is quite good, Paris, Gothita, Skarmory, Chubchoo, Wimpod, okay, and Ariados Reverse, which is not too bad. And we've got a Mewtwo, which is amazing, and this is a really quite good card actually. So we'll put that to one side, and then we'll enter the next pack and see what we get. As I say, it's rather a strange thing, voicing over after the fact, but there's the code for you anyway. So we go. So we'll start with the Leaf Energy, Jobberson, Nice Stadium card, a Laron, Sinistista, which is actually quite a good deck. That form is Molten, Marnie, Purloin, Kalank, and Hooper, which is our other holo for this thing. So far we've got a holo and a V card, so it's not too bad at this pre-release kit. Hopefully we get something good in this last pack. Yeah, so the tournaments are always a different kettle of fish. You only have 40 cards that you make a deck of. You've only got about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what rules you're following. I think we had about 45 minutes in this to open up packs, make a deck, and everything else. Out of all the cards that you get in your kit, and then we're into the tournament. So we'll start with a Linoone, Staravia, Pupitar, Wimpod, Grimer, which is really good actually for this format in terms of the pre-release kit, some stage, and just an ordinary rare there. So as I say, I'm just going to quickly tidy up all the cards on the desk best as I can, and I'm going to show you the best way to sort of go about prepping a deck for the tournament. So pick up all your cards that you've just opened, stick them in a pile, put your nice key ones there that we've got. So we pulled the nice Mew V and the Hooper. So what I'm doing here now is I'm separating all the cards that I've got in my pack into piles. Piles will be trainers, and then obviously each different type. Now you've only got 40 minutes to make this deck, and you're basically looking for the best cards to play. So you need to make a deck. So you need to find consistency. You need to realise what you've got. That's my brother there, just having a look at what I've pulled. He's a bit cheeky, but he pulled something fantastic anyway. And there's some gameplay footage of me and my brother coming up shortly. So yeah, we're sorting through these into types, making sure we've got all the piles sorted so we can see the cards more clearly and what cards we're looking at opening. Next I'm going to open up the pre-release kit pack. Now these are normally about 23 cards, and they're called an evolution pack, and they give you key things like trainers and evolution lines, which are going to be useful, which are going to be evolution lines for you to play. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. There's some ones that are better than others. But as you say, we've got some trainers here, and that's our evolution line, and our Vanilla, Valinglish, and Valilux. We're not going to play that one. We're going to look at the other one. We like to look at we're going to use the Rowlet because it's the ability, and then we're going to use the Ducklet and the Swanna for its ability as well. So that's the way I'm looking at building this deck. So at the moment, just change the camera angle so you can see. This is now all my cards from all my packs, my pre-release kit, opened up, and this is where I'm just going to use my hand and take away the cards that I'm not interested in playing, things that, like there, I've only got one electric type, so I don't need that, get that out of the way. Dark, I've only got about one, two, three of them, so I haven't got the basic for that one, I don't have the basic for that one, and I'm going through here, I'm going to keep the Hooper, because the Hooper's got a really cool attack for 1 energy. So I'm looking at the Hooper here and I'm thinking, that could be useful, so I'm putting that back down, that might be useful. You also might notice I've just put the Grimer away, but I'm going to fetch that Grimer back out in a minute, because it's actually got a 1 energy attack, and you can discard the top card of your opponent's deck, and which is absolutely broken in this format as a pre-release tournament. So I'll fetch that back out from there in a minute, but so far the cards I've chosen that I'm going to play is my Hooper and my Mew, because my Mew has an attack for 2 energy, and it does more damage for every energy that's attached, I believe, from memory. So as I say, I'm just looking through now my grass Pokemon here. Now I'm looking at Rowlet because of its ability, which works very well with Sawana, and then I'm just putting its evolution form there as I'm thinking about it, but I don't have any more. I was also thinking here maybe to throw a Paris in just for some fun, because I've got both Paris and the Parasect, so I've put them down while I'm thinking about it. So this is just my first go through, looking at cards which I'm interested in or maybe interested in, but then we'll whittle it down even further and make bigger cuts as we go along. Now as you can see here, I'm about to do a small mistake. I do this mistake so you can see and understand the way this format works. There I've put Clank and the second evolution of it, missing out the middle evolved Pokemon. So I'm going to make a deck, and I'm going to make a deck with an error in, and that's the error in. Now the reason I make an error in is a bit later on I'll show you that what you can do in a pre-release tournament is you can actually change the cards that are in your deck. If you're something that didn't work very well, didn't you know, work to your advantage, you can take them out and swap them, which is the only time you can do them in a tournament setting in terms of in Pokemon, but you can do it in pre-release. So I'll put that there just as a little tip, so don't be worried if you make a mistake and you play the game and think, oh no, I can't use that ability because you haven't read it right, or you can't do it because you missed the something out, maybe the middle evolution like I've done here, but you can correct it in your next game as long as you can notice what you're doing. So now I'm going to pick my trainers. Now you only get so many trainers in this in the trainer kit, but so most of the ones you're going to want to use anyway. Here I'm just pulling out ones that I'm interested in. And also, with it being a new set, if the new cards, please remember to read the card effectively. So the last thing you want to do is think, wow, that's a really good card, not read it and understand it and how it works with the rest of your cards in your deck, and make a mistake in one of the games, because that's not really a good thing to do. So as I say, I'm looking at this stadium card here. Now this deck that I'm building revolves around being able to switch in and out. Now that trainer card there, the stadium, actually hinders you if you want to do that. So I've put it here, and I actually do put it in my deck, and I put it in just in case I'm against a Sawana deck that someone wants to do all the switching and all the shenanigans. And I'm thinking, oh, I can play that down and just attach a load of energy to my Mew. I can just keep taking hits there and using my Mew to soak up the damage and just keep getting knockouts. But as you'll see later on, I think I took it out later on, I'm not entirely sure, because it didn't work the way I wanted it, even against other people playing Sawana. So this is how my hand's starting to come together. And if you're watching this bit and it's your first time and you're thinking about going to a pre-release tournament when you get a chance, please do go to a pre-release tournament when you get a chance. They're great fun, and they are an interesting thing because you actually have to make something up on the spot, and you have to choose what you actually want to do and then stick with your choices, even though you can change if you need to. And that was my brother there just pointing out that I've got a free retreater in with a Mew and the bird keeper can swap, and he's also pointing out, which I knew about it, that that's going to hinder me on my swapping and it's going to cause me damage. Okay, so we're almost ready to actually get going in this tournament. So you can see here the cards that I've picked. The Grimer's been chucked back in there because that's a good card. Also, it's important to take sleeves with you and then count out the available spaces you got left for energy. I'm having my energy split between Darkness and Psychic. Sawana can take any energy it wants, and I've got a Hooper and a Mew which require their own energy. Always good idea to give a good shuffle your deck because it'll be quite organised from building it. So yeah, have a good shuffle. Normally what I do before I enter a tournament is I have a quick test hand. So yeah, you can see I'm drawing 7 cards as a quick test. See what my test hand turns up, and not too bad. I've got a Kangaskhan, so I've got a Pokemon I can start. I'll put that in my active, so I'm just going to pretend to do turn 1 and 2. In this format you only put 4 prizes out, so not 6, so just 4 prizes. And I'm going to try a test hand of doing turn 1 and turn 2. So I'm going to draw now for turn 1, shortly after having a look in my hand to see what options I've got. So that's turn 1's draw right there, so I've pulled another Psychic energy. So what I'm looking at here, just having another flip through my trainers and thinking ahead to turn 2. So I'm just going to attach my energy to Kangaskhan. It's not too bad. I'm going to attach my trainer card there, which is the Cape of Toughness, which basically gives a 50 HP bonus to my basic Pokemon. It's quite handy. Gives him a nice bulky HP to be taken down. Now I've just drawn for my turn 2. So on to turn 2 we've drawn, and I'm going to use the quick ball that I just drew, and I'm going to discard a Darkness energy with that quick ball's effect, because I'm going to go look for my Mew. And the reason I'm going to look for my Mew is my field retreater, so once I get that into the active I can retreat back into anything else I want. So I'm going to put my Mew down. Basically the idea what I've got in my head is I'm going to use Mew and Hooper, and then Sawana if need be, and just swap in and out where needed to make the most of the game. So I say turn 2, and I can do my second energy attachment, and now I have enough cards to retreat my Kangaskhan if I needed to. But I'm probably going to attack with it this turn, do a little bit of damage, and with it now being turn 2, I can now use a supporter, which is really good. So the supporter I'm going to use is going to be the Pokemon Kid. So I'm going to use the Pokemon Kid, which is really quite nice in this format. So basically you can search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it and put it into your hand. It's okay for what we're playing now, but I wouldn't play it if I was playing in a tournament setting. So I've just drawn out my Hooper there. As I say, the idea of my deck is really to focus early game with Mew and Hooper, because they've got some good attacks. And I'm going to end my turn just having to check where I've got in my hand. I'm probably going to use Bird Keeper possibly in turn 3, or maybe the other one. So I'm going to use the Rally Back attack, so I don't have the requirements to fulfill the extra damage, so it's only 30 damage to my opponent.
2 minutes.
Okay, so round 1 I drew my brother, which is good luck for me and good luck for you at home, because I can actually go through what I wanted to do wrong. I can do it in front of my brother and it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, as you can see, my brother's as good at shuffling as I am. And you might also notice on my left hand I have a watch, and I have a watch because and I face the screen of the watch towards myself. So when I'm in tournament settings, I've got a stopwatch. I start it when the timer starts, and I can keep an eye on the time. I can keep an eye on how fast I'm playing, how fast my opponent's playing, and it gives me a good indication of how far through the game I am, and what the likelihood is of me either winning or losing. As I say, it is best of 3 in tournament settings. So if it looks like you're going to not win game 1, you don't want to waste too much time on it. Let your opponent have the win, go to game 2 and game 3 if you are sure that you can win game 2 and 3. So sometimes it's good to have the time in front of you, and it's a very useful thing to have. So we're just setting up here. I've got myself a basic. I put my 4 prizes out. My brother's still after a basic to start the game, so I've got a mulligan at least. I might have had 2. But yeah, and another idea is what you can see what my brother did there and myself did is count the 7 cards out in front of your opponent, so you know there's definitely been 7 cards picked. So we are off here now. My brother's putting out his prizes, and we're just going to turn over the cards. I've got a Grimy, which you can't see off screen. I have got a whole hour odd filming of all the games. I've cut them down a little bit because time wise, and we've all got other things we could be doing. But as I say, I've touched an energy to Grimer and played a supported down, which requires you to play rock, paper, scissors with your opponent, and the winner gets to draw extra cards. And I won that there with a paper. even though I left the paper vertical instead of horizontal, but my brother knew what I was doing. As I say, in this tournament it's a bit different than normal, but it's fantastic. The shop has done what they've done. All the tables are over a metre apart from each other. Only 2 players per table, and there's a divider in the middle which is causing me some problems with seeing my attacking card, but it's Grimer at the moment. So we've got a nice perspex divider between me and my opponent, and we're both wearing face masks. As you can see, the hand sanitizer bottle on the left hand side of the screen there is mine. My brother's got one on the right hand side if he wants to use one too. And as I say, it's a new world that we're living in, but we do the best as we can do. And I attached an energy to the Grimer on my turn, and it was the wrong energy, so I couldn't use the attack. So it's going to be until turn 2, which is now turn 2, I think, or I missed a turn while I've been speaking. No, yeah, still turn now. It's now turn 2, should I say? And yeah, so I can now use a quick ball to find a Pokemon that I'm after. I believe is what I've just played, and I'm after Hooper. In this occasion, I'm after Hooper. So yeah, that was the quick ball I used. Get out a Hooper, and as you can see from the game here so far, I'm just shuffling my hand, giving a good shuffle after doing that play, and now I'm going to attach the energy, dark energy this time, to the Grimer so I can use the attack. But Grimer has got 2 colourless energy, so just dark and 2 for 50, so 3 energy to do 50. So I've just used my Stomp Off attack, which discards the top card of your opponent's deck, which is why that brother put that one to his discard pile. He's now just attached an energy to his Diglett, and unfortunately I am weak to Rock, which I didn't realise at the time, so his single attack for 20 actually ended up doing 40 to me, which is really quite good in this format, as I've attached an extra energy to the Grimer now, so I can now use Sludge Whirlpool, which does 50 damage, which will knock out his Diglett. So there we go, I've just taken my first prize, but I did understand that he would easily swing back and take the prize there, which he does, which knocks out my Grimer because he only had 10 HP left anyway, 48 HP left, sorry, but he had enough to knock it out. So I promote another card up into the active, and I think we'll leave it there for this game. The game ended up being 2-1 to my brother, so my brother won. He went off to win this game. But up next I've got a really good clip of us playing rock paper scissors in game 2 that went on for some time. So here we are. I just played the supporter and I used the rock paper scissors. Same again, same again, same again, and there's finally a winner. But I hope you enjoyed that. So we'll move on to the next bit, where I said before I'm swapping these 2 cards out for these 2. As I said, in this type of tournament you are allowed to swap your cards out, so that's what I'm going to do, swap them in for them. Okay, so this is round 3. I've missed out round 2, I didn't film round 2 because I ended up having a bye, so there was nothing to film anyway. As I say, there was only about 11 of us playing and we're all locals anyway. So yeah, I just called the right coin flip, so I went and said heads, and I'm going first. But yeah, I've cut the games down a bit. The tournament went on for about 3 and a bit hours. I ended up coming about 6th or 7th, quite low down. There was about 4 rounds in the end, as you see. But thank you to the shop for all the help and all the equipment that they've provided and all the safety features that they've implemented. It was fantastic to be back playing Pokemon. Just around waiting to set up here. I've cut it short here, but if you like it down below, I might put up the full version of all the games with all the details of all the ins and outs of the games. But let me know down below. As I say, we've had a rough couple of weeks with a few bereavements, so that's why there's been no videos for over a week. So I'm just posting this up now, cutting it a bit shorter than normal. But I hope you all enjoy it, and I've got the Darkness Ablaze ETB box to open up shortly. I've got the tin video coming up and some other ones. So yeah, please comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. And we'll just finish off this bit of game here by turning over the active Pokemon, just so you can see that. And as I say, YouTube recommends the one on the left, I recommend the one on the right. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm sorry this wasn't any longer, but let's get this video published, shall we?